everyone, I'm DIY Deborah and welcome to my channel where we'll be covering food, recipes, lifestyle, and DIY, specializing in gluten and dairy free. If this is something that you enjoy, please come along with me. Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to make 3 fabulous gluten and dairy free desserts. It's my birthday today, and yesterday I pumped out 3 luscious desserts we are going to have in celebration of my 55th birthday. So I started off with a beautiful decadent chocolate cake. I'm going to put some cream cheese and cherries in the center and drizzle with a espresso infused chocolate fudge icing. So I started off by adding the flour. I used almond flour and rice flour. Then I also added baking soda, baking powder, salt, cocoa, and combined it all together. I then added some cane sugar and also added some coconut sugar to give it a really nice caramel undertones. I really like that in place of adding any kind of brown sugar. I then added a plant-based milk, and I'm also going to add 1 cup of boiling water. Once this is all combined, I'm going to be putting it in a greased and floured bundt pan. So whenever you're handling gluten-free flours especially, it's important to grease and flour your pan to ensure that it doesn't stick and it comes out nice and smooth for you to be able to ice it and not have it in all crumbly pieces. I also add in 2 room temperature eggs. You want to make sure that your eggs are set to room temperature so that this cake is nice and fluffy and bakes to perfection. This batter is going to be fairly thin, but no worries, it is going to bake and turn out beautiful. It is set to go in the preheated oven at 355 degrees or 180 Fahrenheit. And to cook, it says to cook for 40 minutes, but I ended up the chocolate was smelling very done, so I took it out of the oven at approximately 36 minutes, and it was absolutely perfect. So after doing the toothpick test and it coming out perfectly clean, our cake is now ready. So ensure that you let this cake completely cool. Once I've let the cake completely cool, I cut it in half, and I'm adding a cream cheese mixture that you're going to see later on in the video that I make for a cream cheese pie. So I spread on the cream cheese mixture, and I'm also topping it with some cherry pie filling, and I'm going to let that chill before making a beautiful espresso infused chocolate fudge frosting that we're going to be drizzling on top. You're going to see all of that deliciousness shortly. So once I've added the cream cheese and cherry center, I'm then going to gently, because this cake is very delicate and will easily fall apart. So I place the top on, then I make the delicious fudge topping. I add confectioner's sugar, a packet of Starbucks instant coffee, some cocoa, plant-based milk, and some vanilla. Then once that is combined, I then drizzle over top of the cake. And this fudge frosting does stiffen as it cools. Once I've drizzled on the glaze. This is the first time I've infused this chocolate frosting with some espresso from Starbucks. So it should be interesting to see how all of the flavors combine with the cream cheese and the cherry, the chocolate, and the fudge drizzle. I'm hoping it's going to be delicious. So after I've drizzled on the fudge frosting, I then add a few sprinkles to kind of liven it up, and got a little heavy-handed, as you can see. They poured out more than I was expecting, but it's all going to be beautiful. You can't sweat the small stuff, and here's what it looks like. Mwah! Beautiful, decadent chocolate layer cake. Now we're going to be moving on to making a vanilla confetti cake, infused with a little bit of cherry, topped with a delicious vanilla buttercream and a few little decorative hearts. My daughter's birthday was just last week, so I am making this for her in a heart-shaped pan. So again, I add a combination of rice and almond flour, salt, baking powder, baking soda. It calls for a buttermilk, this recipe, but I made my own twist on it and added some yogurt as well as some plant-based milk. Then I went on to add 1 room temperature egg white and then 1 whole egg. It is really important to ensure that your egg whites and your eggs are room temperature for your cakes to bake correctly. I also add in some dairy-free vegan butter, and then I combine everything really well. Once this is combined, I add some confetti and mix that in, as well as I attempt to add a little bit of cherry juice to make the batter a little bit pink. We're going to be making a pink buttercream frosting, so I tried to go with the pink theme. So once I have combined the confetti and a little bit of cherry juice, I then am going to pour this batter into a greased heart-shaped pan. Now this did turn out really well, and it did, once completely cooled, release from the pan really well. I was afraid, because I didn't flour the pan, that it may stick and not come out, because gluten-free flours are really finicky, but it did once completely cooled. I mean, the key to this coming out of the pan really perfectly was ensuring that you let your cakes cool, and try not to be impatient and make everything quicker than it should be or needs to be. So voila, there we have it. This is the deliciously baked yellow confetti cake. Next, we're going to be moving on to icing it. As you can see here, it came out beautifully from the heart-shaped pan. So here I am topping the cake with the buttercream frosting that I had made, and coming up in the video you're going to see me combine and mix up the buttercream frosting. You just take a brick, or as much frosting as you're going to need, of a vegan butter, some icing sugar, some vanilla, and then I also use a splash of cherry juice to make it nice and pink and sweet and deliciousness. So I combine all of this really well, and then we top our heart-shaped birthday cake. The buttercream turned out really good. I didn't make a ton of it. I just made exactly enough, and I just kind of like eyeballed it. I used 1 stick of the Basil vegan butter margarine and confectioner's sugar, like I said, and then some cherry juice, and yeah, it just turned out lovely. I'm also going to do some finishing touches where I add some little heart-shaped candies and decorate around the edge of the cake. And yeah, I hope my daughter's gonna be really happy and excited to have her own special yellow confetti beautiful birthday cake. And here's what the final product looked like. This turned out lovely. Next, I'm going to be moving on to make my fabulous, famous cherry cheesecake. All these 3 desserts yesterday I made simultaneously, back to back to back. And I first started off by taking some gluten-free wafer cookies and putting them in my little mixer. I combined also with some coconut sugar to again give it a really nice caramel rich undertones. I then added some melted Basil vegan margarine, combined well, And then we are going to press this into the bottom of a pie plate. Now, I didn't bake this pie crust because I do find that, especially with gluten-free, if I would happen to bake it, it does end up getting extremely hard, and then it makes it difficult to cut your cheesecake when it comes time to eating it. So I lined the pie plate with a circular parchment paper that I had got from our Dollarama. You can get like a 10-pack of parchment paper for $1. This will make it easy to kind of come out of your pan, since I'm not going to be greasing it, as that doesn't sit well with the crust. It'll just make it all yucky. So I press the graham wafer crumb mixture into the bottom of the pie plate, and then I kind of take a cup and smooth it down and press it firmly in place after spreading it as much as possible around the edges of my pie plate. If you enjoy my content, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, hit that notification bell. I am really close to 1,000 subscribers, and it would really mean a lot to me for you to hit that like button and subscribe. I'm then going to let my crust chill and firm up in the fridge while I make the filling. So I take some silk whipping cream, as well as the frozen coconut frozen whipped cream. I also take some plant-based cream cheese and some vanilla. I also add a little bit of agar powder. It's a vegan like gel that helps your cream cheese filling or your fillings firm up nicely once they're chilled. So I combine all of these ingredients, and then I'm going to be whipping them really well. So now that everything is blended, we're going to be taking our cream cheese mixture and pouring it into the pie plate on top of the graham wafer crust. We're then going to let that firm up in the fridge for about an hour, and then top with our cherry pie filling. Now I got canned cherry pie filling. I took the easy lazy route. I had gotten 2 different cans because they were short on the one that I wanted, the Edie Smith. So I combined the 2 of them together, and then I, as you can see here, top the cream cheese with the cherries. And this turned out beautiful. You let this set in the fridge overnight, and this is a guaranteed crowd pleaser. This recipe is so decadent, so beautiful, and so delicious. So yeah, I was a busy bee yesterday, making 3 fabulous desserts we are going to be consuming today for my birthday. So it is important, I guess I should stipulate, that being gluten and dairy free, I am happy to prepare my own desserts and my own food. It definitely prevents me from straying and consuming things that are going to get me into trouble later on in the day. So food prep is important when you do have a gluten and dairy free diet, and yeah, no better way than to ensure a fabulous celebration than making it all yourself and ensuring it's perfect. And there we have it. 3 beautiful, decadent desserts. Chocolate layer cake, cream cheese pie, and vanilla heart cake. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.